So in the spring of 2004, I applied for a job at a new plastering company, and they finally called up my number. My new boss told me to meet his guy at the shop. We're going to load up a truck and take it out to the city. This is what the street looks like to get to the shop. There are crazy fucking potholes and random items. A burnt couch, an old tire. One time there was even a dead body found out in the weeds. If a van were to hit one of these potholes, hypothetically, it would get fucked up. So I get to the shop in the morning. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing else around. And as I'm approaching the big door, I see the silhouette of a man sleeping in a lawn chair with his arms behind his head. As I get closer, it's this giant Norwegian Viking motherfucker, huge. And his eyes pop open. And he says, "What's up, brother? My name is Gary." We'll call him Gary. So Gary shows me all around the shop. He shows me the room to get a clean bucket in and the room to poop in, which is convenient because it's all in the same room. So me and Gary load up a truck of about 30,000 pounds of scaffolding and head off towards the city. And as we're driving, Gary's telling me tales of skull-bashing prison wisdom and unforgivable, unrepeatable stories that my brain could never even imagine. So Gary's right in the middle of telling me this tale about how a cab driver cut him off one time, so we ran him off the road, bashed his head in with a can of air freshener, and threw his keys off the overpass. I start smelling a very skunky smell. I look over, and he's smoking the biggest fucking joint I have ever seen in my life. He passes it over and says, "Take a hit, brother." Now, being my first day, I wasn't sure this was the most professional thing, so I politely declined. That's when I realized he wasn't asking. He reached over, grabbed me in a fucking headlock, and held the joint up to my lips. Cars are swerving out of the way, the truck's all over the road. In fear of my life, I take the smallest hit possible, and over the sound of clanking metal and car horns honking at us, I hear him say, "I wasn't aware you were from the bitch dimension." You see, I learned that day that the bitch dimension is a place of frolicking and prancing, and men who have any kind of remotely soft side to them, who like to pet a puppy or give flowers to their wife, reside there. So long story short, I work with Gary the rest of the day, and he ends up being a pretty nice guy. I'm thinking about it on the way home, and it's not Gary's fault. He was just born in the wrong time. If Gary had been born 1,000 years ago, he would have been the guy at the front of the line on the tallest horse with the biggest sword. And that's the story of my first day at this company. And after 16 years, I'm still here, and I've learned that that's just a normal Monday.